Question 1. The Kusha missile, recently in news for its successful flight test by DRDO, is A. The correct answer is option A, long-range surface-to-air missile. Explanation: the Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, recently conducted the first successful flight test of the Kusha missile. It is a long-range surface-to-air missile, LSAM, designed to intercept aerial threats at extended ranges, enhancing India's air defense capabilities. Question 2. With reference to the Index of Core Industries, ICI, in India, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The Index of Core Industries, ICI, measures the collective and individual performance of 8 core industries. Statement 2. The recently revised base year for the ICI is 2022-23. Statement 3. The ICI is compiled and released by the National Statistical Office, NSO. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option A, 1 and 2 only. Explanation: Statement 1 is correct. The Index of Core Industries, ICI, measures the performance of 8 core industries: coal, crude oil, natural gas, refinery products, fertilizers, steel, cement, and electricity. Statement 2 is correct. The base year for the ICI has been recently revised to 2022-23. Statement 3 is incorrect. The ICI is compiled and released by the Office of the Economic Advisor, OEA, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, PIT, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, not the NSO. Question 3. The Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan, NMBA, a flagship initiative of the Government of India, primarily aims to address which of the following issues? The correct answer is option B, combating drug abuse and illicit trafficking. Explanation: the Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan, NMBA, launched by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, is a flagship campaign aimed at creating awareness about the ill effects of substance abuse and strengthening action to address the problem of drug abuse in India. It focuses on youth, women, and educational institutions. Question 4. Consider the following statements regarding the WTO Agreement on Fisheries Subsidies. Statement 1. The agreement aims to prohibit subsidies that contribute to illegal, unreported, and unregulated IUU fishing. Statement 2. It is the first WTO agreement to focus on environmental sustainability. Statement 3. India has recently officially joined this agreement. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option D, 1, 2 and 3. Explanation: Statement 1 is correct. The agreement prohibits subsidies that contribute to illegal, unreported, and unregulated IUU fishing. Statement 2 is correct. It is indeed the first WTO agreement with a primary focus on environmental sustainability. Statement 3 is correct. India has officially joined the WTO Agreement on Fisheries Subsidies, demonstrating its commitment to sustainable fishing practices and global trade rules. Question 5. India's plan to develop phase 2 strategic oil reserves is set to be implemented under which model? The correct answer is option B, Public-Private Partnership, PPP model. Explanation: India is planning to develop its phase 2 strategic oil reserves under a Public-Private Partnership, PPP model. This approach aims to leverage private sector efficiency and investment for critical infrastructure projects, enhancing India's energy security. Question 6. With reference to the National Education Policy 2020, NEP 2020, consider the following statements. Statement 1. It proposes a new pedagogical and curricular structure of 5+3+3+4 years. Statement 2. It aims to achieve 100% gross enrollment ratio, GARE, in preschool to secondary level by 2030. Statement 3. The policy recommends a single regulator for higher education, excluding legal and medical education. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option D, 1, 2 and 3. Explanation: all three statements are correct. Statement 1, NEP 2020 introduces a new academic structure of 5+3+3+4, foundational, preparatory, middle, and secondary stages. Statement 2, a key objective is to achieve 100% GAIR in school education from preschool to secondary level by 2030. Statement 3, the policy proposes the Higher Education Commission of India (HECI) as a single overarching umbrella body for higher education, excluding medical and legal education, to ensure common norms and standards. Question 7. Operation Southern Readiness 26-2, recently concluded at the Southern Naval Command, Kochi, is associated with which of the following forces? The correct answer is option B, Indian Navy. Explanation: Operation Southern Readiness 26-2 is an exercise associated with the Indian Navy. Its conclusion at the Southern Naval Command, Kochi, indicates its focus on maritime security and cooperation, often involving international partners. Question 8. The PM Swanidhi scheme is primarily aimed at providing financial assistance to which of the following groups? The correct answer is option B, street vendors. Explanation: the PM Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi, PM Swanidhi, scheme is a central sector scheme launched by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. It aims to facilitate collateral-free working capital loans to street vendors to restart their livelihoods, which were adversely affected due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Question 9. With reference to the right to protest in India, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The right to protest is explicitly mentioned as a fundamental right under Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution. Statement 2. The Supreme Court has held that the right to protest is subject to reasonable restrictions. Statement 3. Protests that block public roads indefinitely are considered permissible under the ambit of peaceful assembly. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option B, to only. Explanation: Statement 1 is incorrect. The right to protest is not explicitly mentioned but is implicitly derived from Article 19(1)(a), freedom of speech and expression, and Article 19(1)(b), right to assemble peacefully and without arms. Statement 2 is correct. The Supreme Court has consistently held that the right to protest, while fundamental, is not absolute and is subject to reasonable restrictions under Article 19(2) and 19(3), such as public order, morality, and national security. Statement 3 is incorrect. The Supreme Court has ruled that protests cannot lead to indefinite occupation of public places or roads, as it infringes upon the rights of other citizens to use public spaces and commute freely. Question 10. The India Renewable Energy Summit and Expo, BPSC, 2026 is scheduled to be held in which city? The correct answer is option C, New Delhi. Explanation: the India Renewable Energy Summit and Expo, BPSC, 2026 is an important event for the renewable energy sector, bringing together stakeholders to discuss advancements and policies. It is scheduled to be held in New Delhi. Question 11. The President of India recently undertook a state visit to which of the following European countries for bilateral meetings? The correct answer is option C, Romania. Explanation: the President of India recently visited Romania and held bilateral meetings with the Romanian President, leading delegation-level talks to strengthen ties between the two nations. Question 12. What is the primary role of Integrated Command and Control Centers, ICCCs, in smart cities? The correct answer is option B, to serve as the central hub for urban governance, monitoring, and management. Explanation: Integrated Command and Control Centers, ICCCs, are the brain of smart cities. They serve as the central hub for urban governance, monitoring, and management, integrating various city services like traffic management, surveillance, waste management, disaster response, and utility services onto a single platform for efficient operation and data-driven decision-making. Question 13. With reference to the right to be forgotten in India, consider the following statements. Statement 1. It is explicitly recognized as a fundamental right under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. Statement 2. The Digital Personal Data Protection Act, 2023 includes provisions related to this right. Statement 3. This right allows individuals to request the deletion or deindexing of personal information from public platforms under certain circumstances. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option B, 2 and 3 only. Explanation: Statement 1 is incorrect. While the Supreme Court has recognized privacy as a fundamental right under Article 21, Puttaswamy judgment, the right to be forgotten is not explicitly mentioned but is considered an aspect of the right to privacy. Various high courts have recognized it in specific cases. Statement 2 is correct. The Digital Personal Data Protection Act, 2023, which evolved from earlier bills, includes provisions related to the right to erasure or right to correction and erasure, which is akin to the right to be forgotten. Statement 3 is correct. The essence of the right to be forgotten is to allow individuals to control their digital footprint by requesting the removal of outdated, irrelevant, or excessive personal information from search engines and other public platforms, subject to certain conditions and public interest considerations. Question 14. The Commission for Air Quality Management, CAT, recently in news for its inspections, operates primarily in which of the following regions? The correct answer is option A, National Capital Region, NCR, and adjoining areas. Explanation: The Commission for Air Quality Management, CAT, in National Capital Region and adjoining areas was constituted by an Act of Parliament to address air pollution in the National Capital Region, NCR, and its adjoining areas. Its mandate is specifically focused on this region, making it a dedicated body for air quality management there. Question 15. Which of the following newspapers was started by Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak? The correct answer is option B, Kesari. Explanation: Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak started two important newspapers, Kesari in Marathi and Maharatta in English. These newspapers played a crucial role in propagating nationalist ideas and criticizing British policies. Young India was associated with Mahatma Gandhi, Amrita Bazar Patrika with Sisir Kumar Ghosh and Motilal Ghosh, and The Hindu was founded by G. Subramanya Iyer and M. Veeraraghavacharya.